I'm Mr. Veroni.
I'm Mr. Kramer.
I'm Miss Clark. I'm Miss Paschke.
I'm Mr. Ellsworth.
I'm Miss Studio.
I'm Mr. Leary.
And this
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 is Deer Park Daily. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Deer Park Daily. I'm Mr. Veroni. It's a new week here at Deer Park Daily, so let's take it over to Miss Lewis for this week's edition of Deer Park's Best Books.
This week on Deer Park's Best Books, we are celebrating Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. A rather broad term, Asian Pacific encompasses all of the Asian continent and the Pacific islands of Melanesia, Micronesia, and Polynesia. The month of May was chosen to commemorate the immigration of the first Japanese to the United States on May 7, 1843, and to mark the anniversary of the completion of the Transcontinental Railroad on May 10, 1869. The majority of the workers who laid the tracks were Chinese immigrants. To find out more, you can go to asianpacificheritage.gov. All of these books are available through Macinvia located in your Clever account. Aru Shah and the End of Time by Roshani Chokshi is the start of an exciting series featuring a pantheon of Hindu gods. Aru lives with her mother at the Museum of Ancient Indian Art and Culture and tends to stretch the truth to look cooler to her classmates. One day, 3 of her classmates catch her in a lie, so she has to light the museum's lamp of Bharata to prove that it is cursed. She lights the lamp and releases the Sleeper, an ancient demon whose duty it is to awaken the Lord of Destruction. Also, it causes her mom, classmates, and everyone around her to be frozen in time. Now Aru has to travel through realms of Hindu mythology to lift the curse. Can she do it? This book is part of the Rick Riordan Presents series, so if you enjoyed the Percy Jackson books, this would be a great series to pick up next. Hello Universe by Erin Entrada Kelly is the winner of the Newbery Medal. The main character, Virgil Salinas, is a shy Filipino-American boy who is called Turtle by his family because he has yet to come out of his shell. The only people he trusts are his Lola, grandmother, and his psychic friend Kaori Tanaka. He hopes to overcome his fears so that he can talk to Valencia Somerset, a girl in his class who is confident, independent, deaf, and secretly lonely. On Virgil's way to visit Kaori for his psychic reading, Virgil encounters Chet Bullens, the neighborhood bully, who endangers Virgil and his pet guinea pig. Will Kaori and Valencia be able to find and rescue Virgil? This story features funny characters, friendship, and courage. Finally, Fred Korematsu Speaks Up by Laura Atkins and Stan Yogi will make you rethink what a nonfiction book can be. The story is told through free verse, artwork, and expository text. Fred Korematsu was a typical American teenager in the 1940s when Americans with Japanese heritage were forced to go to internment camps. Korematsu refused to comply and was imprisoned, and also scorned by fellow Japanese Americans who believed Korematsu would make life harder for them. Eventually, with his ACLU lawyer, Korematsu took his case before the Supreme Court of the United States. At the time, he lost his case, which was eventually reopened 40 years later and ended with his conviction being overturned. After this, Korematsu continued being a civil rights activist, eventually winning the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Korematsu shows you how important it is to stand up for what you know is right, even when people around you disagree. Thank you for tuning in to Deer Park's Best Books this week.
Miss Grimes had the 7th graders do a Did You Know project. They were able to do any type of research they wanted to and come up with a Did You Know statement. Let's take a look at some of those Did You Know projects.
Did you know lions are extinct from 26 countries they've previously roamed?
Hi. Did you know that Anne Frank was a Jew? She wanted to be a journalist or an author when she grew up. During this time in World War II, her father owned a spice business. In World War II, the Nazis did not like the Jews, and they were putting them in concentration camps and they were torturing them. This meaning the family went up on top of the business and they hid there for a long period of time. Anne Frank received journals during this time. She wrote in them about her life, and she always wanted her journals to be published or at least found. She died at 15, March 1945. A woman named Miep Glee found the journals and published them. That was really good. so that way at least Anne Frank had something, at least good for her. At least people knew her story and how it was. Anne Frank died in a concentration camp. The Nazis did find them. Anne Frank always felt like somebody knew where they were hiding. And there's a quote here that I have. It says, on page 62, Anne says with a terrified tone, "Father, let's get out of here. We can't stay here. Let's go." And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video about learning about Anne Frank. And
did you know that nobody knows when soccer actually originated, except many people think that's around 3,000 years ago? Also, England are actually the ones who made it into the soccer we know today. Did you know in Africa they do not have an address system?
Did you know that slaves were considered by law as property?
Did you know that the most venomous spider in the world is the Sydney funnel web spider?
Did you know that tree frogs snug into bromeliads to hide from predators?
Did you know John F. Kennedy is the first Boy Scout president?
Did you know Henry VIII was married 6 times? 1 died by giving childbirth, 1 survived, 2 were beheaded, 2 were divorced.
Muhammad Ali is the greatest fighter of all time. He won 56 fights and lost 5.
Did you know SARS and COVID-19 are caused by the coronavirus?
Did you know nearly half of Peru is covered by the world's largest rainforest known as the Amazon, and is also the 3rd largest country in South America right after Brazil and Argentina?
This week, Miss Clark has a project that she would like to share. Let's check in with her right now to see the details of that.
Hey, Bucks. I know today is Motivational Monday, and it's only supposed to last, Monday. But we have decided that we are going to extend it to be an entire week. This week at Deer Park Daily, we want to focus on the idea of hope. So our quote for today is, "Hope is still being able to see the light despite the darkness." And with everything that we are going through, this is the time more than ever that we have needed as much hope as possible. Because for some of us, that hope that things are going to get better is what keeps us going through our day, is what keeps us waking up the next day knowing that today is going to be better than yesterday. It's that hope. So here at Deer Park Daily, we have started what I'm calling the Hopeful Project. So now the Hopeful Project came out of lessons and activities that I've actually done with my 7th grade students. So over the past few weeks, 3 of my friends, one who lives in Germany, one who lives in New York City, and one who lives in Anderson, South Carolina, who is a critical care nurse, have joined our students via Zoom to have conversations about what is it like to be on the front lines in the hospitals, to experience things from overseas and having stricter regulations than we do here in South Carolina, as well as those experience of living in New York City, someplace that has been devastated by this virus. So they were able to provide a different perspective and a different insight to our students to be able to compare to things here in South Carolina. But I ended every conversation with one question. When all of this is over, what are you hopeful for? So as a culmination to everything around these guest conversations, my 7th grade students are having to create their own personal reflections. And at the end, I have asked them the same one question. What are you hopeful for? So this is where we've turned this into the Hopeful Project. So Deer Park family, I'm asking you, what are you hopeful for? At the end, I would like to be able to feature different responses every day this week on Deer Park Daily, as well as take everybody's responses to create one compiled video to send out to everybody next Monday so that we can just spread as much hope as possible. So if you would like to participate in the Hopeful Project and submit your responses, you can email me directly at Kimberly_Clark@charleston.k12.sc.us, or you can submit things through a Google form that will be posted in your students' Google Classrooms. I hope that everybody participates, and I cannot wait for us to spread that Deer Park family hope all around. Stay safe, stay hopeful, and I'll talk to you soon, guys.
We now check in with Miss Farmer, Miss Grimes, Miss Clark, and Mr. Williams for Friday's check-in winners.
Sixth graders, here are the names for Friday's drawing for the daily check-in. Not as many names today. Good luck. The winner is Demi Taylor Cullen. Remember, boys and girls, check in daily for your chance to win.
All right, the winner for Friday, May 8th is Renaya Wright. Congratulations, Renaya. Look for your prize in the mail.
All right, 500 building, let's see who our daily check-in winner from Friday, May 8th is. Congratulations, Zion.
All right, 8th grade, it is time to announce Friday's winner for May 8th's check-in contest. Here we go. Remember, you guys can enter. There's not a lot of entries today. Check in every day, and you could be a winner. All right, Jalen Waring, you are today's winner. Congratulations, good job.
Mondays are Motivational Mondays here on Deer Park Daily. And this week, we have our Movement of the Week presented by Brandon Gilliard.
Hi, my name is Brandon Gilliard, and I want to say this hashtag of the week is meditation. Take 1 hour out of your day and meditate on the positive things in your life. And watch your cell phone or social media. Have a farewell. I wish you a good day.
Thank you for that, Brandon. Definitely some words that we can all live by. Join us tomorrow for a TikTok Tuesday you are not going to want to miss here on Deer Park Daily. And that's the news, everyone.